Many people mistakenly believe that stroke is a sudden event that strikes out of nowhere. In reality, it develops gradually and imperceptibly, like a quiet but dangerous storm building day after day, night after night. Invisible habits we maintain can overload the heart, disrupt circulation, and slowly weaken the brain. This is far more common and insidious than we like to admit. According to the American Heart Association, more than half of strokes in older adults occur at night or in the early morning hours. At the very time when the body should be resting and recovering, stroke ranks second among causes of death in the elderly. Yet remains one of the most treatable conditions if harmful habits are identified and changed in time. In this video, we will discuss 8 risky evening habits that can negatively affect your brain health. At first, they seem harmless, but in fact, they significantly increase the risk of clots, mini strokes, and brain hemorrhages, even during sleep. Correcting even one of these habits can immediately and noticeably reduce this dangerous risk. Don't miss the end, because the first one is the most common, often ignored, and at the same time the most threatening. If you're over 60 or you care for someone this age, this video can be an important reminder that may save a life. Your evening ritual may be doing irreparable harm to your health every day. Let's change that and turn nights into a powerful shield for protecting your brain. One of the most common yet dangerous habits is going to bed angry or emotionally wound up. It may seem harmless to fall asleep irritated, anxious, or with any other form of emotional tension. But for people over 60, this habit becomes a quiet yet destructive bomb inside the body. If you lie there agitated, your brain interprets it as alarm and triggers the release of hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones raise blood pressure, speed up the heartbeat, and constrict blood vessels. This imbalance is especially harmful at night. A recent study published in the journal Hypertension established a direct link between high emotional stress before sleep and nocturnal spikes in blood pressure, which in turn increases the risk of cerebrovascular complications, including stroke. Making matters worse, stress doesn't disappear with the onset of sleep. On the contrary, it lingers through the night, feeding the body tension, disrupting deep sleep, and overloading the brain precisely when it should be recovering. Older people often dismiss their emotions, thinking it's nothing. But going to bed with heavy feelings is like falling asleep with the alarm on. Night after night, this emotional buildup turns into chronic inflammation, persistently high blood pressure, and worsening brain health. If the day was difficult, don't drag that weight into bed. Take a deep breath, write down your thoughts, pray, or talk to someone. Even 5 minutes of relaxation before sleep helps lower stress and protect your brain. Emotional balance isn't a luxury. It's vital protection for your health. In later life, peace of mind before bed serves as a shield that reduces stroke risk. Another of the most dangerous habits for the aging brain is falling asleep with high blood pressure. Unfortunately, it's quite common. At night, the body should settle into deep rest, letting the heart slow and the blood vessels relax. But when blood pressure remains elevated, the arteries stay tense, forcing the heart to work harder and putting the brain at risk. This condition is called nocturnal hypertension, and the most troubling aspect is that it often has no obvious symptoms. According to the American Heart Association, older adults with uncontrolled nocturnal hypertension are almost twice as likely to have a stroke during sleep, especially in the early morning, when most cases occur. The reason is clear. When pressure doesn't dip at night, the walls of cerebral vessels become more vulnerable, promoting both clot formation and ruptures in small vessels, events that can lead to severe brain hemorrhage. A common mistake is measuring blood pressure only during the day and assuming everything is fine. The greatest danger may be hidden at night, when no one is watching. Frequently waking tired, with a headache, blurry vision, or a heavy feeling in the body may signal elevated nighttime pressure. For accurate assessment, measure at home during the night or right upon waking. Talk to your doctor about nighttime BP monitoring, or consider an automatic recording cuff you can use during sleep, and if needed, adjust medication timing to ensure protection during the most critical hours. Nighttime blood pressure control is one of the most effective ways to protect your brain after 60. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Act before it's too late. Habit 3. Don't treat loud snoring or sleep apnea as trivial. Snoring, which may seem like an annoyance for a bed partner, can be a worrying signal of risk to the brain. Loud snoring, especially with breathing pauses during sleep, can indicate a serious condition known as sleep apnea. Apnea involves repeated stops and starts in breathing. Each interruption temporarily deprives the brain of oxygen. This triggers a dangerous cascade. Blood pressure rises, heart rate accelerates, and stroke risk surges. Research in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that older adults with moderate to severe sleep apnea are 4 times more likely to have a stroke than those with undisturbed sleep. Particularly alarming is that many people don't even realize they have it. Those living alone, for example, may not notice gasping at night, breathing pauses, or overwhelming morning fatigue after what seemed like a full night's sleep. Sleep apnea not only prevents proper brain recovery, but also accelerates cognitive decline and weakens the cardiovascular system. If someone has told you that you snore heavily, or you wake with headaches, dry mouth, or a choking sensation, don't ignore it. See a doctor. There are many effective treatments today, from simple lifestyle changes to nighttime breathing devices. Good breathing during sleep is vital to brain health. Don't treat snoring as normal. Sometimes it's the only warning your body sends before it's too late. Habit 4. Falling asleep with the lights on. Many people think it's normal to drift off with the TV on, a nightlight glowing, or lights seeping in from the hallway. But this seemingly harmless habit quietly undermines brain health at night. Nighttime exposure to bright light directly interferes with melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep and helps the body enter deep rest. Without this hormone, the body doesn't fully relax, blood pressure doesn't dip as it should, and the nervous system stays on alert. Even with eyes closed, studies published in Sleep Health show that older adults exposed to light during sleep have a higher risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular events, including stroke. Worse, most people don't realize light is doing such harm. The body needs complete darkness to restore the brain, balance hormones, and clear toxins accumulated during the day. When light is present, from a screen, a lamp, or an uncovered window, biological clocks are thrown off, rhythms are disrupted, and brain health begins to deteriorate. If you tend to fall asleep with the TV on, turn it off at least 30 minutes before bed. If it's bright outside, use blackout curtains. If you need light for safety, choose low-power warm amber lighting aimed at the floor. Sleeping in darkness isn't just comfort. It's a biological necessity and one of the simplest, most effective ways to protect your brain at night. Habit 5. Sleeping in a cold room without keeping warm. A slightly cool environment can be helpful for sleep, but when the room is too cold and the body isn't adequately protected, the effect can be harmful and even dangerous, especially for older adults. During sleep, body temperature naturally drops, but if the environment is too cold and you're not covered with warm blankets or proper clothing, the body must react to preserve heat. This activates the sympathetic nervous system, the same one that switches on during stress or danger. That alert state constricts blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and speeds the pulse. A study in the Journal of Hypertension showed that nighttime exposure to low temperatures is associated with pressure spikes and a higher rate of cardiovascular events such as heart attack and stroke, especially among older people. Excessive cold also disrupts the natural sleep cycle, causing awakenings, muscle stiffness, and even chills as the body fights for thermal stability. If you often wake with cold hands or feet, or feel tired despite a long sleep, your environment may be unsuitable. Aim for a room temperature of about 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, with enough blankets, warm sleepwear, and no draft from a fan or open window. The body needs rest, not a struggle with cold. Ensuring comfortable nighttime temperature is one of the most effective ways to protect heart and brain during sleep. Habit 6. Skipping or mistiming nighttime medications. Forgetting a pill before bed may seem minor, but in older age it can be costly, especially for drugs that lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, or control heart rhythm. These are not merely symptomatic. Many are designed to act at night, when stroke risk peaks. During sleep, the body fine-tunes heart rhythm, pressure, and cerebral blood flow. If a dose is missed or taken at the wrong time, protection fails and the brain is left vulnerable at the most critical moment. Research in Chronobiology International shows that strictly adhering to antihypertensive timing reduces the risk of nighttime cardiovascular events, including stroke, by up to 60%. Doubling a morning dose to compensate for a missed evening one doesn't help and can destabilize the body. Many older adults take medication whenever they remember or when it's convenient. That approach is dangerous. The body needs regularity. This allows medicines to work at maximum effectiveness, stabilizing pressure and protecting cerebral vessels all night. To maintain consistency, use a pill organizer with days and times, set a phone reminder, and tie the dose to a fixed ritual like brushing your teeth or putting on pajamas. Small routine tweaks build an invisible wall around your brain. Don't underestimate one evening tablet. It may be your quietest shield against stroke. Habit 7. Drinking a lot of water before bed. Hydration is vital for health, especially in older age. But if it happens at the wrong time, right before sleep, the consequences can be riskier than you think. Many older adults drink a large amount of water or tea before turning in. The problem is that this greatly increases nighttime awakenings to use the bathroom, disrupting deep sleep phases. It's not only rest quality that suffers. Each sudden rise from bed causes blood pressure swings, speeds the heart, and increases the risk of dizziness, falls, and even stroke. A study in the Journal of Clinical Gerontology and Geriatrics showed that frequent awakenings to urinate are directly linked to transient pressure spikes and a higher rate of nighttime vascular events in older adults. Fragmented sleep also prevents the brain from entering deep recovery phases responsible for clearing toxins, regulating mood, and repairing blood vessels. This doesn't mean drinking less. It means drinking at the right time. Distribute fluids throughout the day and reduce intake 2 hours before bedtime. If you already have frequent nighttime urination or take diuretics, ask your doctor about adjusting timing and dosage. Good sleep isn't just duration. It's stability, depth, and inner balance. Avoiding excess fluid at night is a simple step that can preserve that balance and protect your brain. Habit 8. Sleeping in a chair instead of a bed. Dozing in an armchair after dinner, nodding off during TV, or spending the whole night seated out of laziness to get up may seem harmless to many older adults, but is one of the most dangerous habits for circulation and the brain. Sleeping slumped in a chair with a bent neck or inadequate support limits blood flow to the brain and heart. This posture reduces oxygenation of the brain and, over time, can contribute to silent microstrokes, small injuries that go unnoticed but accumulate, worsening memory, coordination, and mental clarity. Neuroimaging studies, such as those published in Stroke, show that older adults with poor sleep posture have more ischemic brain lesions and a higher stroke risk. How you sleep truly matters. Sleeping outside the bed also makes it harder to enter deep sleep phases, reduces the production of restorative hormones, and limits the body's ability to recover overnight. The brain needs darkness, quiet, and above all proper alignment to perform its nightly tasks of cleansing, protection, and repair. Many older people find it more comfortable to fall asleep in a chair, but that comfort comes at too high a price. Choosing the right way to sleep is choosing to care for your future. Create a dark, calm, comfortable environment. Use pillows for support. Align the spine and always lie down in a proper bed. Good sleep is not a luxury, it's a survival strategy. Switching from chair to bed can be the difference between protection and risk for your brain. Now that you know the 8 nighttime habits that quietly raise stroke risk, it's time to change them. The truth is that none of these habits needs to remain part of your life. You can change with awareness, consistency, and small decisions made every evening before bed. Protecting the brain doesn't require magic formulas or empty promises. It requires one thing: choosing proper rest, taking medication on time, sleeping in the right position, small acts that build or erode your brain health over the years. Don't wait for an alarm to act. Stroke is often silent, but prevention is too, And it begins with simple choices only you can make. If this video has warned you, share it with those you love. Send it to the person who snores and thinks it's normal, to the one who says they've always slept in a chair, to the one who takes medicine when they remember. You could save a life. And if you're determined to protect yourself, write in the comments, "I choose to care for my brain every night." That way I'll know you recognize the power in your hands and are ready to use it. Your night can be a risk, or it can become your strongest protection. You choose. See you in the next video with more tips on health, prevention, and long life for those over 60 who still have so much life ahead.